Preparing to live stream the meeting. I'll give you a link if you want to share it with your people.
Yeah.
We're on YouTube now. I'll give you a link if you want to share it. I'm going to have to mute the volume. I'm going to send you a link. It'll be in the chat here on Zoom.
Perfect.
There you go.
Awesome, man.
So you're Nick Albertson.
Yep.
I'm Chris. This is YouTube. Let's talk.
I'm in, brother.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Nick.
I kind of grew up for the most part, like in the Indianapolis area. My parents kind of moved around a lot when I was younger. My dad was in the military. So when I was like super young, I was born in Florida, lived in Germany.
Oh, you lived in Germany?
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I was a kid, man, but.
You speak German?
No, goodness, no. I think my mom told me the only thing she learned while she was there was Das und Bitte.
What is it?
She said it was Das und Bitte for one more beer.
Yeah. Well, one more beer would be eins mehr Bier. But
okay.
I think what she probably was thinking is bitte schön, meaning please give me another one.
Yeah.
Bitte schön, danke schön. Bitte schön means please, danke schön means thank you. Spent some time in Germany, so I speak it fluently.
Okay. Yeah, no, when I was 2, maybe. But my mom.
You know, they let you drink beer in Germany when you're 2, right?
No, I don't think at that age yet.
The rule of thumb is if you can see over the counter, they can serve you a
beer. That's good stuff. Yeah, man, I wish I would have been able to like get a little bit more of the culture and stuff. There was a health scare with my mom, so they sent her back to the States. She took me with her. My dad finished out his tour. He was in the Air Force, so he finished out over there, and then we wound up in Belleville, Illinois.
Belleville, Illinois. I actually know that. I know that place.
Yeah. So which is kind of, oh yeah. So it's kind of crazy though. I work with a guy who he lived in that area for a long time. His dad was in the military too. So we kind of chat about it every so often. But and then after that, we moved to my grandparents lived in the Indianapolis area. My mom is from the south side of Indy, so we moved up here or up there.
So are you in Indianapolis now?
I'm not. I live in Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, full time.
Mountain country.
Do what?
Mountain country. Got mountains, trees, all kinds of beautiful places.
So Nashville, I would say, yeah, but Western Tennessee, we're like super flat, man. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, I will. Like, I go out and walk pretty often, and like my Fitness Pal, the elevation gains like 350 feet, like maybe.
Well, here's the crazy thing. I drove through Tennessee once on my way to Florida from Chicago.
Okay.
And I drove through a ton of really nice mountains.
Depending, man, there's some beautiful spots. Eastern Tennessee, and if you get out to like Chattanooga and areas like that, you can get out in some beautiful like Pigeon Forge. A lot of people go to like the Pigeon Forge area to go. They'll rent a cabin and they'll do shit like that. But out Memphis, I mean, we're in like the most western tip, so we're right just southeast, I guess technically, of the Mississippi River, and then we're just north of Mississippi. So we're right there in between Arkansas and Mississippi. Pretty hammered in, but it's really cool because it gives us the opportunity. It's super cultured. It's something I didn't have growing up in like the suburbs of Indy. Not that I didn't appreciate the time and stuff, but it was, I mean, it's just not a lot of culture in Greenwood, Indiana.
When you say culture, describe the culture.
Man, music, food. Memphis, you can get whatever you want when it comes to like the differences. So where I kind of describe it as pockets, and that's how it was described to me when I first got to Memphis. Was um, you've got the ability to go to different pockets of areas and kind of get a little different influence. Um, like where I live is in, it's like a, I wouldn't say it's like a hipster e vibe, but it kind of gives off that feel sometimes. It's a little younger in a lot of places. It's everything says historic district. It's beautiful area. But then if you go downtown to Beale Street, where everybody goes when they come in, it's a totally different feel. It's very bluesy. Um, they've got a tin roof. They've got certain things that are that franchise bar. But man, there's a lot of like cool music. Everywhere's got music. Everywhere's got patios. Um, like I just adopted a dog in February, and I can take him really anywhere I want to take him. Um, there's always a way that you can go out to the patio. Every restaurant near me has some sort of outdoor seating, which has been nice with everything going on.
Good barbecue.
Oh, beautiful. I mean, it's some of the best barbecue I've ever had, if not the best barbecue I've ever had.
If you ever get to Chicago, go see a restaurant called Fireplace Inn. A friend of mine, Kai, owns it.
Okay.
I know that. And my dog's excited about the barbecue.
What's up, pup?
No kidding. But they have amazing barbecue.
Oh, it's dangerous, man. I put on so much weight when I first moved down here. Um, it was it's crazy. I go to Chicago, at least I try to get up there like once a year, so I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, Chicago's having a tough time right now. The mayor is running the city well into the ground. A lot of businesses have never reopened from the lockdown. It's a tough time. I actually feel bad for a lot of my friends in Chicago.
Man, that's tough. Yeah, I know.
They rioted, they tore down statues. I mean, when did Christopher Columbus all of a sudden become a racist?
And that's something that I think it goes back to kind of perception, in a sense, like with everything. That's kind of where I started with my stuff, was that when I started taking these like inner looks at me, I was perceiving things like, I'm in a ton of student loan debt from going to college, getting a master's, doing stuff like that.
You got a master's?
I do.
What do you have a master's in?
It's a master's of arts in education. So
you can effectively tell me what a good painting is.
It's one of those that I went to get it. So I work in sports medicine at the college level.
Oh, really?
I work with a lot of 18, 22-year-old athletes, stuff like that.
So you're going to see college football this year?
Not at the level I work, I don't think. You might see some, like at my level, the NCAA just canceled D2 and D3. I work at a Division III school. They just canceled fall championships for those two levels. And it's tough. The kids are going through a lot of things, and I wouldn't want to be the president of a college right now. I couldn't. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of tough on the line.
One death in 3.5 million under the age of 22, and they're literally shutting down college athletics. It's literally insane when you think about it, because what danger do these kids have to themselves from a virus that kills 1 in 3.5 million under the age of 22?
And I think that's why it gets tough. It's one of those things that I know I don't have enough information when it comes to certain things. And I do my best to keep pushing forward and keep going, because I know these kids are in some spots that it's tough, man. I mean, to go from not being able to play in the spring and then not play in the fall. And some schools are going to go remotely. Some schools are going to be on campus. Everybody's
saying is that you're literally going to charge them for in-class learning, but give them remote education.
Yeah. And I get that. I know a lot of schools are rolling back their tuition fees to previous years to help that out. Some schools
they should roll it back significantly. I mean, they're literally stealing money by charging anywhere near what they would charge.
I wish I could even begin to speak well on it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just I'm not in a lot of those meetings. I don't get to see that side of it. I enjoy where I work. There are a lot of good people there, and I think at the end of the day, they're doing their best for what they believe is going to be the benefit. And we'll find out in the future. But it's one of those things that I'm an assistant, so I really get to not be in a lot of big conversations. But I know that here in Memphis, we've had some struggles, man. At least the numbers that we see are getting worse and worse instead of better.
What numbers are you referring to?
Just the COVID cases. The state made a stall.
Interesting thing about COVID cases. If I test positive and my employer says, hey, take 14 days off till you come back with a negative test, and I go almost every day to take another free test, and I test positive for 10 days and then I get my negative test, I just added 10 more positive cases to that list.
That's crazy stuff, man.
And in many cases, look at the governor of Ohio. He tested positive in the morning, and then 10 hours later, oh, we made a mistake. It's a negative test. So how many false positives are there? And then one lab had 600,000 false positives that it did in Florida. 600,000.
I think I saw that.
So if you think about it, testing for positive cases, that number means nothing. We're all probably at one time going to have this virus in our system. Ultimately, as human beings, our bodies are going to adjust and develop herd immunity. That's just the way it is. We've developed herd immunity from, I think it's like almost, I don't want to throw a number out there, but it's a significant number of viruses that our bodies are already herd immunized against.
Right.
God made us incredible beings.
Yeah, no, and that I do believe. You know, I work with bodies all day long, and I get to see how fast injuries can heal and stuff like that. So I mean, I do agree that we are we're probably the most beautiful organism created, which is kind of
other than puppies.
Yeah. Oh man, if it weren't for my
dog.
Yeah. So I adopted a Staffordshire Terrier Lab mix.
So what color? Where you got a picture, or where is he around?
Yeah. He's sleeping right now.
I'll be honest with you, dogs have the life. Like literally. Sleep, whenever you need to be fed, somebody feeds you.
Speaking of sleeping, I don't know if you can see it well.
Oh my God, look at that fucking dog. He's fucking cute as pie.
Dude, he's the fucking best. I love this dog. So I got him right about
What's his name?
Patches.
No, perfect name.
Oh yeah, he's got these spots.
Dogs respond well to names that end in S or with the last letter sounding like E. And the reason why is, for whatever reason, dogs understand S and E. And they just react really well. They'll come when you call that. But if you call them something like Frederick, they'll be like, the fuck is wrong with you?
Yes.
When people introduce their dog to me like, hey, this is Frederick. I'm like, does he listen to that? Yeah. No, I'm having a hard time getting him to work around it. Yeah, he doesn't understand that.
Yeah,
it's
a lot. Yeah,
it's ick.
Yeah, that's a lot for a dog.
Yeah, he's like, Mom, Frederick? Would you go to Harvard?
Yeah, the fuck are you thinking? Like, come on.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I got him. I got him like a month after I got sober. And we got lucky.
Sober.
When
did you get sober?
January 1st or January 27th, 2020 is my sobriety date.
Congrats. Inch by inch.
Do what?
Inch by inch.
Hey, just it's one of those things that I don't have. I'm not somebody that like has a lot of information when it comes to it. I kind of lean into a lot of people. But I know when I, at the time, everybody was able to go to bars, everybody was able to go out and do shit. So when all my buddies went out, I needed somebody home to hang out with. And
Get a puppy.
And it was perfect. He's 2 years old.
He doesn't drink. He doesn't party.
Oh yeah. They
You should
found him.
check out Darren Marble. He's running a TV show that he's launching. A friend of mine in California has
Okay.
a really good article on sobriety as a lifestyle. Also, Justin Kahn, the former founder of Twitch, he
Okay.
has a Telegram group. I think he called it "Don't Drink" that I'm a part of, and it basically is a group of people that have chosen to live a sober lifestyle. You know, being sober cleans you out and literally gives you such a better life than being drunk. And some of us, you know, drink to be cool or forget or, you know, suppress our sadness.
Been all of that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's funny. I've lived a sober lifestyle now for almost 12 years, and it's interesting because, you know, when you go down that path, it gets easier every day because you get further away from liquor.
Right.
But you also start to cleanse your soul, you cleanse your body, you cleanse your bloodstream, you cleanse your mind, you think better, you're sharper. Just so many things are better in your life as a result of that. Ed Lattimore, he's sober.
Right. I couldn't agree more. And like I'm still like you said, you know, you've got 12 years. That's phenomenal. Like my dad was clean and sober for 13. He that was crazy. Growing up, that's all I knew was being. I would go to meetings, I would go to things with him, and it was different because everybody else was like their family was having people over, and you know you'd have all your mom's with dad's friends over on the weekends, and everybody's getting drunk playing cards or doing stupid shit. But like I remember every Wednesday night for years we'd go to an AA meeting. It was a speaker meeting. It was awesome. I heard some stupid stories, some really sad stories, some crazy shit. Like, and you know, you get
Food and alcohol usually end up in the same sentence eventually.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I was reflecting back the past 2 weeks, like trying to think of how, you know, just try and find like 5 nights in the last 5 years that I could remember when I was drinking.
You know what's funny is, and I can tell this from your face, when you stop drinking, for whatever reason, your face gets less puffy. And like you look at your face right now, I bet you, if you look back a year ago at pictures, your face was probably puffier here.
Oh yeah. It was just, it was just the amount of toxins, like
toxins and just your body rejecting everything that you're doing. Plus when you drink, you usually get the munchies, and trust me, getting the munchies and hitting a White Castle. Do they have White Castle out by you?
We got Crystals, so same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. White Castles is probably something that, as you get older, you realize it was the most toxic, tasty thing you could ever put in your body. I don't even know if it's an actual food group. Other than the bread, I'm almost sure everything else is modified in some sort of laboratory.
Oh yeah. No, it's bad, man. Yeah. And in Memphis, like it could be Aldo's Pizza, which is it's a fire spot. It's like a New York style type pizza.
Okay, I got to tell you, New York style pizza. I'm gonna get some heat for this. It's fucking horrible. Like when I grab a pizza, if the front like drips all the way down and it's got grease dripping off of it, that's the worst kind of pizza. Like I want my pizza to have like a little bit of crust to it, a little crispiness, I want it to have flavor and taste. I don't want it to like be this dripping, greasy, god awful thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. And this spot has like a little bit, but it's not too bad. It's the best.
It's okay. You can tell when they've used good ingredients, good cheese, because good cheese doesn't leave that much grease. By the way, go look on Google. You read this. For years, Papa John's, it was Papa John's or Domino's, was mixing Vaseline in with their cheese so that it created grease, but it was a cheaper product.
What the? Nope. I'm out on that.
It was like 30% Vaseline. I was like, what? Shout out to my buddy Pomp, who on every weekend just goes and eats himself a Domino's pizza.
My goodness. That's crazy. Vaseline?
It was maybe it was an urban legend, but I remember reading it a long time ago, and it made me realize, okay, I'm gonna have to check off Domino's and Papa John's forever.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that was kind of when I stopped drinking, I struggled with like eating well in that sense. Cause it was like I felt like I needed something. And then I started gaining a bunch of weight back. I was like, okay, well, this isn't a better route either. And then recently, like, I just finished this 75-day challenge program. And I dropped another like 25 pounds. So I went down I started last summer at 272. I'm down to 230 now. So
that's pretty, how tall are you?
5'7". So I was a round boy.
Have you ever checked out Zuby online?
Yeah, I looked through a lot of Zuby shit.
If you read his book, it's such a really simple, good book.
Okay.
It incorporates a healthy diet with daily exercise. I don't know if you see, but every day in the morning, I get up at some ridiculous hour, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and I take my dog for more or less a walk. It's in his opinion, it's him chasing rabbits. He's like, he loves just finding rabbits. I don't know what it is.
Oh yeah.
And I'm almost sure he's not going to eat the rabbit when he catches it. I think he's come to the reality that they are just way faster than him. Like he literally was 2 feet away from a rabbit one time, and they both took off running. And it was like in 2 seconds, the rabbit was like 50 feet ahead of him. See the back bunny tail flying back and forth. And he came back at me and looked at me. He's like, one of these days I'll catch him. I'm like, I don't think so. I think that rabbit's got a second gear.
That's what my dog, Patches does that with squirrels, man. Like you let him outside and there's a squirrel, I don't
even know what Jesse would do if he saw a squirrel. Like there's no squirrels in Nevada. No, if there's squirrels in Vegas, I'd be shocked.
Yeah, no, yeah, that'd definitely be a shock. Yeah, I mean, we got quite
Scorpions and turtles, but we don't have squirrels.
Yeah, my grandpa lives out in the Mesa area, so I go out to Arizona every so often, and I always have to do the dump my shoes, just make sure. He got stung by a scorpion once, and he was like miserable.
Yeah, that could be miserable.
So I don't even chance it. I shake out all my shit. I'm like, nope, I'm out. But it's cool. So they glow in the dark.
What does?
The scorpions by my grandpa's house, they like glow in the dark when you shine a light on them.
Yeah, it's got to be a nuclear thing.
Yeah, it doesn't seem.
Did some nuclear testing out in the desert.
Yeah, it doesn't seem right, but it was kind of cool. I was in high school when I first saw it, but yeah, no, I mean it was sick. Memphis, man, it was cool. It is cool, like the food, the culture, and shit like that. But
I've heard the food is amazing. Like
it's phenomenal.
It has some amazing food.
It's phenomenal.
And actually, amazing barbecue is what I've heard.
Barbecue is perfect. There's a lot, you get a lot of the arguments. Like I have buddies that live down in Texas, and they're like, Texas barbecue is better, and I'm like, I can respect it, but man, the barbecue here.
Barbecue is sloppier. I got to give it to them. Like they got good barbecue, but that shit is a fucking mess.
Oh, yeah.
You are not eating Texas barbecue and coming out of that without a stain on your shirt.
All over you. Right.
Yeah, I mean, like, and then if you got like any facial hair,
yeah,
in the bathroom, you got to hose your face down.
Yeah.
like, oh, you got a little bit of, yeah, I know. I know. Yeah. As soon as I'm done, I'm going to go wash up.
Yeah. I can't do this every 5 minutes. All right. Like
all right, so you're in sports. Mm-hmm. I got to ask you.
Yeah.
What do you think about The Rock owning a percentage of the XFL this week?
It might actually succeed now.
I've always thought that there was an opportunity for the XFL to compete with the NFL. And I think the XFL has a chance with the right people, and The Rock is probably one of them,
right,
to bring entertainment to the game, because the NFL has gotten boring. Like they took away all the fun stuff. They remember the Icky Shuffle?
Yeah.
Come on, man. That was the best.
Yeah.
He was a fat fullback dancing in the end zone, and they took it away from him. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Well, I think the XFL, I think he can make it, man. I I don't know if it'll ever be a true competitor. If you're buying the XFL for 15 million,
Remember MySpace?
right? I mean, I get that. It's just, I think it was undervalued. I think that there's chance for good growth if you do the right things. I'm a big Pat McAfee fan.
Oh my God, Pat McAfee is the GOAT. He's phenomenal.
I think they need to put him in the booth. I think that that'll change the game quite a bit.
Pat would be good in the booth. They need to do something with bar stools and stool presidente.
I would be intrigued to see.
I think if they go edgy, they can really do something, which is what that, like when they used to let the players put hate me not or something on the back of their jersey. Yeah. I was like, that is the best.
Yeah, I mean, when it first came, I was like, man, there's a chance just because there's not a lot of competition during the time. And it was totally different. You're right. Like he hate me. And then that dude ended up coming playing for the Carolina Panthers. Like,
oh, he did?
Yeah, he could really ball. So I think it'll be interesting. I think that there's a chance that it could be successful. I think that this whole thing turned out to be the worst possible timing for when the coronavirus came and hit, and like they were trying and they were getting there and they were getting better.
Well, I don't know if you know the story about the XFL, but the guy that ran it, that the big money behind it, he got involved in a big situation where he was doing something with Bitcoin, and he was laundering it through these banks, and they literally locked up and tied up, I want to say $850 million of his money, guy down in Arizona. And that's what killed the league. I don't know if you know that.
Dang.
Yeah, the big money behind it. When he got indicted, like boom, all the money got cut off.
That's out. That's crazy. Yeah, I had no idea. Because
that's why. If you go look it up and read it, it's an interesting story.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Because like, I can't remember what the AAF or whatever, the All-American.
The arena. The arena.
No, there was a football league that tried to play. Also, right before, I can't remember what it was called. I want to say it was the AAF. And we had a Memphis team, the Memphis Express, and they got screwed too, man. Like they needed some money, and the dude from the Carolina or the Hurricanes, the NHL owner, bought the league, and then just didn't want to do it anymore. So he just kind of disbanded the league. But Johnny Manziel was signed in Memphis for like a minute. Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Shout out to Johnny Manziel, the guy that partied in Vegas like a rock star during football season.
Yeah, he had some struggles with off the field stuff, but
he did. Yeah, too, because I think if he would have gotten a good mentor and somebody to be accountable to, he might have avoided some of his struggles with alcohol and drugs.
Yeah. No, I think he would have had a good shot if he could have just stayed somewhat grounded.
He would have had a good shot, but he was a colorful player. Like he was still short for his position, and
but
he had some good games in college, but he just didn't translate well to the pros.
Yeah. I think he would have been fun to watch. I think he'd have been fun to watch on like a small market team.
Oh, Cleveland. He would have been fun on Cleveland.
But the problem is you're right. He could never stay grounded. He could never do the small things well enough to keep him from going too off the deep end.
I think one of the things, have you ever read a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill?
Most of it. Yeah. I'm actually working through it right now.
Super awesome book. It had a massive impact on my life. One of the things that I've learned and started to do is I put together a group of people that want to become millionaires and millionaires that want to teach people how to become millionaires and be mentors. And I've come to the reality that the people you surround yourself with, that you soak up knowledge from, have such a massive influence on your life and the projection of your life, the direction of your life, that it's almost criminal for people not to seek out the right mentors, the right people to put around their life.
Right.
I mean, as parents, you almost have to literally say, when my kid grows up, I'm going to surround him with Tony Robbins. I'm going to surround him with great minds, great people. I want to surround him with people like Elon Musk. I want to surround him with people that think about the impossible and then do it.
No, yeah, I think yeah, I completely agree. Well, it's like in AA, they tell you find a sponsor, right? Like find somebody with years. And
you want to know something? That can be translated well beyond AA.
Right. Well, I think it just goes to show, like in everything, like you're saying, you know, a lot of these, like for me and my profession, like I would have never been anything, or I would be doing the same old stupid shit that I was doing when I first started if I don't find somebody that was way better than I was and just start asking questions every day. I think like you said, I do. I think it translates to everything. It definitely makes a difference. Like when you just find people that know what they're doing, or at least have fucked up enough to know what not to do, that the results really extrapolate from there.
It's not so much that you have to find people that are perfect. Mm-hmm. You just have to find people that'll give you guidance.
Right.
Because as human beings, we all have flaws. I mean, I can open up that closet right now and you will see all my flaws. Just joking. I don't know if there's anything in that closet. Right.
No, I mean, and being young, it's kind of cool because like, you know, I got a lot of people, a lot of friends that they don't want to go that route and they're super happy and like good for them. I got a lot of friends that are searching for things and struggled to find that and are looking for that mentor, but don't know how to find it. And then a lot of friends that have found it and are doing really well. So it's kind of cool to see how the cycle of life works. You know, I was talking to somebody this past weekend. They're like, man, you know, we're super proud that you found that, you know, you can't drink and you're doing better and all this shit. And I was like, I appreciate it. Like I do, but I'm also super like happy for you that you don't have this issue. Like you can go and sit at a bar and have a beer and walk away. Like, cool. So I think it's really cool to see how people are finding themselves in that, you know, 20 to 30 range. And also it sucks because there's a lot of people that have no self-awareness.
You know, I think the more you tell your story of sobriety, and the more people that hear that story, you're going to find that you're changing a life at a time. And it's not because you're out there changing their lives and walking the walk with them. It's because they see that you've changed your life, and then you become an inspiration to them. They're like, wait a second, I can be like him because he just showed me the way that it can be done. And that's really important for you to get your story told. And that's why I wanted to have you on today, because at the end of the day, people need to hear a full spectrum of stories in life to find the true heroes, the people that have gotten themselves up from rock bottom and made something out of their lives that's successful, that's positive, that's leaving a better mark on people.
I appreciate that, man. It's kind of crazy because I remember 6 months ago sitting in a meeting, like hearing some of these rock bottoms and thinking like, man, should I be here? Like, is my rock bottom really a rock bottom?
Just so you know, there's no competition to rock bottom.
Right. But when and I come to realize that, you know, that's my disease. That's telling me that, like, no, dude, you're fine. Like, you can go drink. Like, these dudes are, you know, the amount of people that I met in my first week that before they got clean and sober were sitting and eating. They were homeless, eating out of trash cans because they had nothing else. It's the disease telling you, like, yeah, man, you're fine. Like, go get another one. You'll be okay. So I do appreciate that, man, especially because a lot of the meetings I go to, I'm the youngest by a lot. And it may just be where I'm at.
Come to Vegas, we got all the young hot women at AA meetings.
You know, and that's what my dad would always say too, because, you know, I talk to him a lot, just to get some insight sometimes, especially when I'm struggling, because my first sponsor didn't work out. We didn't quite mesh well. You know, all the praise to him. I hope everything is doing well with him. But so sometimes, and then everything hit and meetings kind of shut down, and I've been doing virtual meetings and shit like that. So it's not been as easy to get into that sponsor mentorship part of it. So I just reach out to a bunch of people that I know through personal life, like my dad and some of his buddies that have just years of experience. But I mean, my rock bottom is joyriding Memphis 3 hours into a blackout for being in the car for 2-3 hours, and lucky I made it home. I came home, I didn't have a scratch. I woke up the next morning, my roommate was like, dude, are you okay? Because you were gone for a long time. Had no idea. So to just wake up that morning and kind of realize and be like, oh shit, shouldn't have made it. No way. I looked through my phone and I had like 17 addresses in my phone just to try, or different ways I typed my address so I could get myself home. And like, I have no idea, no recollection. Not a scratch on the car by the grace of God.
So what are some of the things that you do on a daily basis to win the day? I like to call it win the day.
Yeah.
What do you do to win the day every day?
Every day I look at the, Alcoholics Anonymous has a daily prayer, daily meditation. So I go through that every day. I read my Bible and my big book. I try to get into those daily. And then I focus on the solution and not the problem. I think that was the biggest piece. I started like blogging just to get my thoughts out. I was never big into journalism or journaling. I was petrified at how anybody would have ever thought of me, whether I knew that they were thinking poor, good or bad about me. So I just started, I blogged just to say like, yo, it doesn't fucking matter. But I read a lot, I focus on, I'm a pretty, I wouldn't say like, I've always described it as faithful person. I went to a Christian college for undergrad, as somebody that never went to church, and that was where I found my relationship. But so I lean into God a lot. I've found just being open and honest that those are huge. I do that with my friends, my family, and then I just focus on the solution of not whatever I can do for the day to not take a drink is a cool day. And then I found that the more I read, like you were saying, like Think and Grow Rich, I just finished Compound Effect not long ago. Just trying to read books that bring action and then putting that action into place. All of those things have helped, like with my underlying depressions, my anxieties, my stuff like that. Like even this was like, man, I've never done this. So as we were talking and setting this up, I was like, fuck, man, I should just back out. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't need to be there. And at the end of the day, I was just like, you know what, at least do it. And I listened to a lot of podcasts and shit like that. And I remember Mel Robbins, she wrote the 5-second rule, but she had a saying that, that anxiety and fear are the same emotions physically or like chemically in your body as excitement. So just sitting down and doing it will create, and having a different outlook and being excited and telling yourself you're excited about it instead of being anxious about it will give yourself the body will start to understand that chemical isn't meant to be shitty, but good. Okay.
So that works on everything in life except the slingshot. Have you ever seen that ride called the slingshot? Yeah. So when you're in the slingshot, you can tell yourself you're excited instead of anxious.
Yeah.
But I'm 100% sure from all the videos I've seen, the slingshot is true anxiety.
Yeah, no, there are certain things that I'm cool with. I've been to Vegas a few times and watched some people do it live. Yeah, it's a lot. I'm not there.
Wait, we got a slingshot here in Vegas?
Isn't that? Yeah.
I don't think so. The one that I'm thinking of is down in Florida where they put you in this little round thing and it shoots you out.
I could have swore I saw it in Vegas off the top of it was like.
It might be here. We got like a carnival ride at the top of the stratosphere that I think shoots you out over the side. I'm like, what's wrong with people? And here you have to think about this logically for a quick second. You're getting into a ride that is being managed and worked on by people making minimum wage. That's not a good equation. You know, a loose bolt, a bad strap.
Yeah, no, I mean those things would freak the shit out of me. But I'm working on trying to get there. You know, I have this not I guess not irrational, but I have a fear of heights. So I've
Who doesn't? Come on.
well, so I've challenged myself that in the next like calendar year to go skydiving at least once. Um, Trying to put action into some of these things to know that okay, like at the end of the day, is it really that deep?
Why jump out of a perfectly good plane?
Why not? That was my. I got a buddy, Zach Homel, who he's a
Zach.
yeah.
Zach's a good guy.
Yeah, I'm going out to Colorado with him and some buddies, some of his buddies, and the end of August. So that'll be cool. But
I thought it was September.
so there's another one in September. We're doing one in August.
Oh, okay.
So but he walks barefoot all the time.
You see, that part I've always asked him about because I think he either hates gym shoes or hates his toes. Because he not only walks barefoot all the time, he literally works out barefoot all the time.
Dude, you know what? And all the power to him, man. He's such a positive dude. But something that I think it's got kind of like that Goggins mentality of like he's doing it because you're not, I'm not, the other people aren't. So I think that's some of it, but I don't want to speak for Zach, but that's why I started doing it was
walking barefoot.
Yeah. I was walking every day. So I just go out to when I was in,
I got to tell you, here in Vegas, you don't want to walk barefoot.
Yeah, no.
It's dry, hot paper.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was doing it when I was up visiting family in Indy, so I was doing it up there in my.
Well, that's because you guys got grass. Like,
right.
Grass is a good thing for your feet.
Right. Well, so the first I was doing 45-minute walks, so like the first half of it, I was just on the concrete the whole time, and it was hot there too. Yeah, it got hot, so that one sucked a lot, but it was cool. Yeah. It was about 5 minutes in was when the blister started, and then I got to 22, 23 minutes. And I was like, well, the only way to go home is go back. So you just turn around and do it. But it's just kind of, now that I've figured out the day-to-day for me, how not to take a drink, I'm challenging my body more, challenging my mind more and trying to stay grounded in the still don't take a drink. But, leaning into people like Zach, leaning into some of the other people that, I just started using Twitter for what it was actually used for, and it's awesome.
Making connections.
Yeah. I've had it for 10 years, and in the last 3 months
you're like, fuck, this thing's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit! Like, where has this been the whole time?
Exactly. So, people are talking all day.
I was like, man, I was just like reposting stupid shit. So it's been cool.
That shit moved over to TikTok.
Yeah. Well, for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, so it's cool because when I first started talking to Zach about this retreat going out to Colorado, there was part of that same I don't know any of these dudes. I know Zach a little bit just from connecting with him and talking with him and stuff like that, but I don't really know any of these guys. And that was where my insecurities come back into play. So going back to kind of what we were saying earlier, I just started to. My win the day is to try and do something that I would have been insecure about 6 months ago and just follow through with it and just keep pushing.
I think that's important. I think that's, the more you challenge yourself, you start living life with purpose, with direction, with a reason to do something. And when you do those things, your life is now checked off something that it probably wouldn't have checked off its bucket list.
Yeah. Definitely, because I am inherently lazy as fuck.
I think we all are. I think we're only lazy till we're motivated. And when you're motivated, motivation gets rid of laziness. You just have to be motivated to do something. You have to push yourself. Right. Hey, I want to do this. And whatever this is, I guarantee you the second you're motivated to do this, you're no longer on the couch.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. And just kind of have a borderline, to me, it's almost a borderline obsession for it. like here in the future, I want to start. The plan is to get some sort of kind of like you're doing with this, getting some stories out there of people that have gone through some tough shit that are making it, whether it be a single mom that is able, she's raised 3 kids with 2 jobs.
Jesus Christ, I got 1 puppy. I don't even know what it would be like to raise 3 kids.
No,
By the way, I think single moms are superheroes. They have like some sort of superpower.
Oh,
because
yeah.
imagine like you're a single mom, you have to work, and then you have to raise kids. I mean, I just don't even know how that's even humanly possible, but yet it gets done.
Yeah, all the time.
So shout out to all the single moms.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And stuff like that, like finding people that have gone through the shit that somebody out there can relate to, that they just don't know it yet. Like you were saying earlier, trying to just find ways to build that community to get to as many people as possible, one at a time. I don't think enough, men especially talk about, I think mental health and vulnerabilities aren't talked about enough. And I definitely think it's not enough.
Check out Same Here. It's an organization.
Same Here.
Yeah, it's an organization. Darren Rovell?
Yeah.
He's a part of it. Robin Lerner, he's the goalie for the Knights hockey team.
Yeah.
They're putting together, and they've already put it together, a really amazing organization called Same Here.
Okay.
Where it's all about mental health. I think it's actually mostly men, but yeah, it's all about mental health, and they're doing some really good stuff.
That's really cool, man. That's kind of a big thing for me. I think that there needs to be a little more empathy in the world today with some shit. Everybody goes through their shit. The one thing I seem to not be able to get over is road rage for some godforsaken reason, but we're working on it.
Come out to Vegas. You'll have your own road rage. People don't know how to drive. Man,
it's hard to keep up in Memphis. It's hard to keep up.
Some people haven't quite figured out that, there's simple, basic rules, use the blinker.
Right.
It's not a bad thing.
I live off a road that it's 40 speed limit, but if you're not going 55, you're going to get smashed.
Crazy.
So
when I was in Germany, we would jump on the Autobahn, and just merging into the Autobahn was like merging into like a Indy 500 race. Like,
that's crazy.
You had to merge like at 90 miles an hour just to make sure you didn't get hit.
That's cool. That's crazy, but that's kind of cool. Yeah, Indy 500 is sick though. That's a cool experience.
How did we not have that this year? How did like coronavirus get rid of the Indy 500? They're in a car.
Yeah.
In a car.
They were pushing it back. I don't remember if they finally set a date or not, but I saw they kept pushing it back.
I mean, some of these decisions that they're making are just, I think they're just designed to punish the economy. It's an election year. They want to, create a narrative. I mean, we're literally killing off entertainment like the Indy 500. What was the exact reason to avoid the Indy 500? One guy in a car driving against other guys in a car. Crazy.
I know they want the fans there, man, because that thing packs out.
Yeah.
I know they do that, but
I understood the whole thing though. Is it 500 laps? Is that
500 miles?
Oh, 500 miles.
500
miles. How many miles is one lap?
I want to say 2.5. Don't quote me on that. And all my friends from Indiana are going to hate me, but
so like 200 laps then.
Yeah, it's either 2 or 2.5 mile track. It's the motor speedway is huge. It's huge. I was reading something.
Those Formula One cars are amazing. They're like little rocket ships.
Yeah, those are sick too. But I know that like the NHL and NBA are doing well with their bubbles right now. So
not the NBA so much. The NHL is doing phenomenal, but the ratings for the NBA is probably one of the worst they've ever had.
Yeah, I watched quite a bit of it. I work in sports, so when I don't have them, man, I gotta have them somehow. Blackhawks play tonight, so I'm pumped.
The thing that I don't like about the whole bubble thing is the fake fan noise.
Yeah.
I mean, they have fake fan noise in the NBA games. I'm like, we all know there's nobody making that noise.
Right.
Even like when you watch like baseball games, like we know there's nobody in the stands.
Right.
Like don't pipe it in. it makes it worse it makes it more weird than it is.
Yeah, I remember when I think it was the Bundesliga, the German soccer league, they were one of the first back to playing live events. And the first game I watched, there was no noise. It was just the players. And then the second one I watched, I want to say they were either doing it for the audio for the broadcast or they were playing it in the stadium, but they were like fan noise and stuff like that. It was still weird.
Yeah, it's like fake noise. I mean, like we all know it's fake.
It was still weird. I really, the teams that do the cutouts kill me.
Like oh my God. Did you see the Kansas City Royals Cubs game the other night? Somebody paid to put Bernie's, Weekend at Bernie's, behind the home plate. I literally busted a rib laughing.
Yeah.
Watching that. Like that, that is just hysterical.
I think I saw it on Instagram or something. That was hilarious.
So speaking of entertainment, do you think Joe Biden's ever going to debate Donald Trump on stage?
I don't know. Probably not. If you want to be, in my guess would be not, but I don't know. It's August now. It's gonna be an interesting couple months to see leading up to an election.
Here's the crazy thing: he won't even go to accept the nomination in Milwaukee. Like he's literally going to do it from his basement. Like, dude, you cannot win the election from your basement.
Right. Yeah.
No matter how many votes they rig, you cannot win it from the basement.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be. It's going to be an interesting next couple months, and then I'm very intrigued to see how things go.
Have you seen what's happening in Portland?
I saw the DMZ, right? Or what was that called? They did like their own zone for a while.
Oh no, that's Seattle.
Oh.
Portland, they had like 60 days of rioting, fires, just violence, the whole 9 yards.
No, so
that's a lot of days, man. That's just that has to get so who's paying those people?
Yeah.
You can't riot for 60 days without getting a paycheck.
Unfortunately, like I'm in a lot of things, I'm kind of ignorant in a sense. I turned off the news.
You're a smart man. You're a smart man.
I found it was fucking up my mental way too much. Even Facebook.
I got rid of a TV like 6-7 years ago. Just don't even own one. Life is so much less complicated. There's nothing really on TV worth watching anyhow. Yeah.
No, I mean, I'll watch a little Netflix here and there. I watched they got a series on Netflix called Last Chance U. It's huge for me.
Last Chance U?
Yeah, Last Chance U. I
think I've actually seen like previews for it.
Yeah, they go to a bunch of.
Is it a series?
Yeah, so they've done 3 different schools for 5 parts for like football.
Okay.
But that's how I got my football fix, because we were supposed to be in camp right now. Where I work would be the time. This would be when we'd be getting into camp and stuff like that for football. So,
how important do you think it is for kids to get back into class, back into school?
I think that at 18 to 22, kids need routine and schedule like that.
I think all the way from kindergarten to 18, they need it more than that.
I just don't work. I haven't been around a kid like that other than a kids camp, and really since I was young. So I got younger brothers, but we were always spread out.
Your bubble, but I think you're still kind of young.
I appreciate that. I kind of try to get, something that I like that Gary Vaynerchuk always says is even at 40, you're still young. You're barely to halftime, if at that. So
that's the other crazy thing. The life expectancy of a man in America today is 74 years old. And the average age of people dying from COVID is 81 years old. What the fuck are we worried about? This is killing off people that have lived on the average 7 years past their expiration date.
That's
like, if you really put things in perspective, sometimes we're freaking out about something that's killing off an average age of 81-year-old people. And our life expectancy is 74. At 81, I'm probably going to die from a lot of things. So are you.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of why I made sure that my health was starting to get right, was because where I was, 81 would have been like a blessing at where I was a year ago. So
yeah, there's some things you can do. Like there's a scale you can buy,
Mhm.
and it actually tells you like your body fat, your bone density online. But one thing that I actually like about the scale, and I'll get the name of it later, but the one thing that it does that's pretty cool is it tells you what your body's age is. Like it tells you like how old your body is aged. And that's actually pretty interesting because when I started looking at that, I was like, what the fuck? How old am I? You're kidding me? Like, what's the next reading? Is dead the next reading? So when you start realizing, your body has an age, but you also have a year's age.
Right.
And if your body's aging faster than your year's age, you probably should, get a little bit more fit.
Right. No, I think that's huge. Well, and something that I don't think gets talked about enough is the correlation between mental health and physical health. If you sit there and all you do is eat pizza and a bag of chips and drink a bunch of soda, diet or not, like
shout out to pizza.
Yeah, another pizza one. But if that's all you do, man, like you're probably fucked anyway. Like
by the way, let's agree. DiGiorno makes a damn good box pizza.
They make a pretty good box pizza.
It's literally, I mean, I literally don't know too many box pizzas that beat DiGiorno.
They make a pretty good box pizza.
Shout out to my new sponsor, DiGiorno Pizza.
I would hate to go this whole time and not shout out Amori Pizza in Zionsville, Indiana, though.
What is it?
Amori Pizza in Zionsville.
Where's that?
It's northern side of Indianapolis, but a dude I've been connecting with, Chris Simone, and his brother.
Oh my God, Chris and Dave.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna somehow get to Indianapolis so I can try their pizza because I believe that they're good people, and I think good people just generally make good pizza.
Oh, I mean.
By the way, if you get out to California, go check out Slapfish Grill. Andrew, the chef, he's a worthwhile follow on Twitter. He has an addiction to mayonnaise and lobster, but between those two addictions, he posts some amazingly good food.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Chris is, I mean, one of these days I'm going to be able to sit in the same room. Man, going back and forth between Indy and Memphis has been tough to get into the room with some of these guys, but
why?
Do what?
Why is it tough? You're close.
Just because I'm only there for like a short period. Like if I go back to Indy, it's because I had something to do.
How long of a drive is it?
From here to there, 7
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
So I got an oil change like 2.5 weeks ago, and I'm not supposed to get another one for every 7,000 miles. And
you synthetic?
Yeah, full synthetic. Yeah, which is cool. Yeah. Oh. It sucks in the moment to pay the price because it's way more expensive than anybody else's oil changes. But man, it goes way longer. So I'll take the bang for the buck. But
you can check your dipstick, and even like at 20,000 miles on synthetic, you're solid.
Oh shit.
Yeah, just don't let them tell you when to change your oil change. Check the dipstick. Put it
as long as you're good, right?
White rag. If it's clear, you're good. If it's black, go see the guys at Jiffy Lube.
Oh yeah. Well,
shout out to Jiffy Lube, my new sponsor.
What's up? I use Take 5.
You use Take 5?
Yeah.
Shout out to Take 5, my new sponsor.
Shout out Take 5. Appreciate you guys. But I put like 3,500, 4,000 on it in the last 30 days. So it's just a lot of driving back and forth for short periods of time. Hopefully, my work decided that they were going to go remote, so that hopefully I'm going to be able to see some family a little more, though, which there's a plus in there for it. But
does the puppy go driving with you?
Do what?
Does the puppy go driving with you?
He knows when we're leaving.
You know why dogs put their head out the window, right?
Mm.
So the way the dog's body is built, they have a snoot, they have like the air intake here.
Right.
You put it out, the air jams up the snoot and goes into the brain, and it is like a high for dogs. They get a massive rush of O2, and that's the reason why dogs are like ah.
That's great. My dog won't put his head out the window to save his life.
He won't?
Nope.
Dude, when he figures it out and he does it the first time, he's going to do it all the time.
That's awesome. Yeah, we'll
He'll
see.
be like, yeah, this oxygen is fucking amazing.
Dude, he doesn't do that. He hates water.
He hates water. Now,
hates
okay, I gotta tell you, mine, like he hates getting a bath. But once I get him a little bit wet, he looks at me, he's like, all right, motherfucker, do this quick. I think it's funny too because he runs around when I've got the hose and he acts like he's gonna die if you get like a little water on him.
Yeah, no, he hates water. I try to give him a bath, even if like I take him to my parents' house every so often, and when my parents' dog, he'll jump up on the counter, they'll spray him with water just to get him down. My dog runs, gone, see ya.
Mine hides under the bed.
Doesn't want anything.
Imagine trying to pull a 109-pound dog from underneath the bed.
Oh, I'm blessed. My dog's 50 pounds, so he's maneuverable, but he's fast as shit. He hates water, so like I try to give him a bath in the bathtub the first time, just because I just got him. Like, nope.
Yeah, that reek, that aroma.
Oh yeah. Well, and he was in the street. You know, he was living out on the streets, kind of in Mississippi. He got picked up. He was with an adoption, like a foster adoption company. And I was like, can I meet him? We tried to adopt a dog, my roommate and I, and it was just too aggressive. That other dog had some bad struggles with where they were from or whatever. But we met Patches and he like jumped up on our legs and hugged us. And I was like, all right, bet, whatever I got to do. How much do you need? Like, I want to take him home right now.
Just got him out of the clink.
It was perfect. So
I think people need a dog. Like having a dog gives you responsibility. It gives you a life form that will love you for probably ever, unless there's a bath coming.
Right. Yeah. Or nail trimming sometimes.
Yeah, we don't do that. We just go for walks. He gets plenty of nail paring. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird when he was at the when Jesse was at the groomer once. She takes his paw and he's like hooked up to this chain so he doesn't get off the table. He literally lays down as if he's dying. She cuts his paw. He's like, I'm dying.
No, please, no. Yeah, I try and cut. I just, I take him to the vet. They do a good job with the bath and trimming, and I take him there. I can't like exercise him too much. He's got heartworms, but
wow, isn't there like a cure for that?
There is. So he's getting treatment and stuff like that, but I don't want to exert him too much until we found out.
Crazy is that, like worms in the heart.
I know. It was sad, but yeah, I mean, he's so happy all the time. Like
the best, man. You want to get a good friend, go to the dog pound.
Oh yeah. And if you find the right dog, they can just meet you and be loyal forever. So
it's actually funny. So I'm at the dog pound and I was walking a bunch of other dogs as a volunteer, and Jesse came in to the dog pound as like a 5-month-old. And in the dog pound, in the waiting area, there were like 5 families interviewing other dogs. So there's 5 dogs, 5 people, 5 groups of people. He literally sidewinded and passed up everybody that would normally be a distraction and the girl let him off the leash. Everybody that would be a distraction came right up to me. I had a tennis ball in my hand and he started licking me like crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, Lord, is this a sign?
Yeah.
I heard the angels above say, yes, it is.
That's what's crazy. So like that you say that, my grandmother was telling me my great grandfather used to, he was a pilot or a gunner in the planes in World War II. The plane that he flew, the name was Patches.
Oh, wow. Then it was meant to be.
I found that out like 3 months later. I was like, huh, sweet.
Like I always say, you don't adopt the dog. Dogs adopt you.
Yeah.
There's some sort of entity up there that's like working for God and matching.
It's like a telephone switch operator that they're just matching people up.
Like, hey, I got this guy and this dog. They seem like a good fit.
It was perfect. It was
listen, Tell everyone a little bit about what your roadmap looks like. I always ask everybody, what's your roadmap next 6 to 12 months? If I were to get you back in 6 months when we started talking, what's going to be different in your life? What are some of the accomplishments? What are some of the things that you're shooting for?
Okay. So the next 6 to 12 months, I'm really working to get like my own word out there, help give other people the voice also, in different forms, whether that be, written form and blog, podcasts, interview style like this, putting it onto YouTube, trying to help other people tell their story, but also trying to, win every day. The macro to me is something that's super important, and I want to keep growing and keep pushing forward. I love what I do for a profession. So my goal is always to get better there. Something that I always, my boss and I always talk about is if you're not getting better every year, and challenging yourself and being more progressive, then it's just not worth it. So I like to take that aspect to life too. And just to keep building upon what I want to do. I want to push the fact that you can be male, female, whatever, it doesn't matter what you are, what you define yourself as, but that vulnerability and kindness and empathy win. Watching everybody else win and helping other people win, you still win.
So I'm going to challenge you.
Yeah.
You don't have to write a book or write a journal for a long period of time. Just write stuff into a journal, and then sit down and see if there's parts of that journal that you can put in writing that'll help change people's lives for the better, help inspire them to be better. I'm going to challenge you. If you don't do that the next year, probably going to tell Patches to pee on the couch or something.
And if he pees on the couch, that would be an anomaly, but I would also be very pissed at that dog. Yeah, man, absolutely. And that's kind of what I started with. I created this free blog that I'm going to start putting into like a better ran website and shit like that. I have a bunch of stuff in the works that are finishing up between just branding and different things with that. So I've got some equipment on the way and all that shit. So as soon as everything is here, I'm going to definitely start taking off on all kinds of just different forms of sharing. But I definitely like that journaling every day and getting, I think vulnerability is important. I think it's
giving people
authentic
tools to get past their vulnerabilities. Like for you, the thing that I learned today is just challenge yourself. You're afraid of heights, just do it. Just, jump out of a plane, make sure you got a parachute. Just challenge yourself to defeat the fearful things that are in your mind. Now, by the way, just for the record, I'm not doing the slingshot. I'm 100% sure I'm afraid of the slingshot. I'm 100% sure I do not want to do the slingshot. Shout out to Slingshot, not my future sponsor.
Definitely not a future sponsor, but we appreciate them for letting us talk about them.
Well, the best thing about the Slingshot is they have this video camera that just shows people. Those are the best. You want to laugh yourself silly? Watch those fucking Slingshot videos on YouTube.
Oh my God.
There's one where the guy, it's a black guy, and he literally passes out, and then he wakes up, and then he passes out again. and then he back up. There's another one. There's so many of them, and like there's these two girls. Like, there's not going to be no big deal. They're videotaping them before they take off. Oh, this is easy. Blah blah. Boom! It's
Oh yeah. No, those are so funny. I got lost in a YouTube like video stream, whatever, loop one night of just watching stupid people do or stupid shit where people are just freaked out. Slingshot, all of it.
Yeah, it's like I said, funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Hilarious.
Well, listen, Nick, you've been open, transparent. You've told your story. I think anybody watching this will have mad respect for you moving forward. And I think your story is just now starting to be told. I think in the next year, you're going to do some interesting things, and can't wait to see what unfolds.
I appreciate that, brother. I'm pumped.
Yeah. And next time we do this, we'll have Patches and Jesse on for a bit.
All right,
Who
perfect.
wins today, Blackhawks or Edmonton?
Blackhawks finish the series.
Who's your pick to click on the Blackhawks?
Oh, pick the click, huh? Can I just say it like Patty Kane?
He's always there though. But you want to hear something crazy? I think he's going to have. This is his day for whatever reason. Have you seen some of their Stanley Cup runs?
Yeah.
Remember the one where he clinched it against Philadelphia and like literally nobody knew he scored the goal. He's running around.
He's just going nuts. Yeah.
He's like, fuck yeah. And then all of a sudden, everyone's like, wait a second, the game's over. Not only that game, but if you look like some of the other big games in life, big games, for whatever reason, PK just shows up on that day. So I gotta agree. I think Patrick Kane shows up today.
Always.
Here's my off the radar pick to click. And I actually think he needs to get some LASIK surgery. His eyes seem to be a little off these days because his shot is just so off. But I'm telling you, I think out of nowhere, the cat just comes to play today.
Okay.
I think him and Kaner have a wicked good day. And here's another guy that I think has been quiet for the last two games, but the first game he showed up.
Oh yeah.
I think what's his name? Javi Bulik or Dominic?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Number 8. I think those three show up today.
Yeah. No.
Now here's the other thing though.
Can you
I think today McDuck, and I call him McDuck because he's just so fucking fast. McDavid. I think McDavid shows up in a big way today. That kid, he is so fast. Yeah, I mean, I would get 20 minutes in the penalty box if I played against him because I would literally, I would hook him every single time because that guy starts here and like if you're skating, he's like past you in about 3 seconds.
Yeah, no, he's a stud, man. Some of these young kids are going to be very, very good for a long time.
Well, I think McDavid's going to be very good for a long time. That kid is just ridiculous. He's literally the fastest human being on skates I've ever seen with a puck.
He's so, yeah. He worries me. But like you said, I think Patty Kane at crunch time, especially when he knows that, it's not like previous years where you don't have all the studs you had around you to help and pull people.
Actually, I got to tell you, I think this team is pretty well stacked. It's one of those surprisingly stacked teams, and I'll tell you why. Look at how the defensemen have showed up for the Blackhawks in this series. I mean, they're scoring goals. They're coming up from the point. And then you look at the line with Taves, Saad, and Kabi Bulik. That line's solid. Kaner's line is solid. You get two solid lines, but the other lines are doing their job. Like Kirby Dach, this kid's like playing into his own. He's starting to come to his own. He's playing bigger in front of the net. I will say one thing. He got hit hard the other day on the legs. I'm hoping he can play strong today because he's an important part of their victory.
Well, I like that they've gone every other day. I think that helps everybody from playing to not playing to now playing at full capacity again. So
yeah, because they got so many other games they have to play for the other teams.
Right. So I think that helps get them back.
The interesting thing is Jesse's got a treat bet with the dog from Marc-Andre Fleury's dog. He's Marc-Andre Fleury.
Okay.
Yeah, so then if they win today and the Knights finish off St. Louis, it's the Knights and the Hawks. And whoever lasts longer, Jesse's either getting treats or he's giving treats. And you know what? I got to tell you, he doesn't like giving any treats to any dog.
Yeah, oh gosh, no, I can't imagine.
It's funny. I got a couple dogs in the neighborhood, and every now and then I get the neighbor a treat and Jesse a treat. And the look on Jesse's face when, even though he's getting a treat, the look on his face is like,
come on, what are you doing?
What the fuck you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
You gave that motherfucker a treat? I'm like, dude, you don't share.
Oh, yeah. No, we got like just over an hour till puck drop. So
is it? Is that what the deal is? No, it's what time? It's 2:30. Puck drops now. What are you talking about?
Is it now? Oh, it is.
Why do you think I'm ending this? What are you talking about?
You're right. No, you're good. My phone was telling me in Eastern time still.
Yeah, let's see.
It keeps telling me 5:45.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I don't know. I thought yeah, you're right. It's 3:45. So yeah, another hour.
We got an hour. So I got to
Oh, fuck. We could talk forever then. Well, listen,
I'm pumped, man.
you're a Hawks fan, you're a dog lover, you're making your life a masterpiece, and that's really good.
I appreciate that, brother. I do. It means a lot because 6 to 8 months ago, I would have never done this and would be back to where I was at the day before.
Well, if you do the slingshot, send me the video. I just want to see the video of you in the
We got a
slingshot.
minute before the slingshot. I'll make sure I get that out to you.
All right, so he's Nick Albertson. Couldn't be happier to have a story told. It's a great story, and I think your story is just beginning, and the future is bright.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, let's turn everybody. Peace out, YouTube.